Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share some brand new products from Pink and Main, and one of them is some beautiful 6x6 paper that you can foil. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to use. We have the Butterflies Cut and Emboss folder, which is pretty genius. And when you open this up, this is an embossing folder with the die cuts already adhered inside. So when you run this through, it's going to emboss your images and die cut them all in one move, which, like I said, is so genius. And I am so excited about using this. So I'm definitely going to use one of those butterflies for this. Then there is the black and white 6x6 paper pad that you can foil these. You can leave them as is or you can foil. So I am going to foil this. I'm just going to run through there. I believe there is 24 pieces in here. Please don't quote me on that because I could be wrong, but each one of them is different. So you have all of these wonderful patterns. Well, except for two are solid black. You get two of those, which would be a lot of fun to just have one whole background completely foiled. So there's a solid black, and then there is the last one. So I was choosing between this one or the polka dots, and I decided to go with the polka dots. So I have my Mink machine on up to 5. It's already nice and warmed up. The light is green. I've got my carrier sheet here. I laid down that whole 6x6 piece of paper. And I'm using Deco Foil's Gold Shattered Glass. And I'm just going to lay that on top, close my carrier sheet, and then run that through the Mink machine. And if you have a Mink machine, you know it goes pretty slow. So I'm gonna let that run through. Now that it's done, we can peel that off and look at how pretty. Now I could save this background polka dot to go on one of those solid black sheets. Then this is the diagonal cover dies, and I'm gonna die cut that foiled paper that we already did using oh my gosh, my brain just stopped working. The scalloped edges. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And I die cut that so it can have a nice pretty edge to it. I'm putting my white cardstock into the Butterflies Cut and Emboss folder. And now let's pop these out. So they're already completely embossed and die cut. I just needed to trim off a little piece that was stuck on there. But look at how quick and easy. You guys, this is like a game changer. And I know that there's other embossing folders that have the coordinating dies to me, which is still a game changer, but this is one less move we have to make. Okay, I'm going to die cut this frame one more time because I decided I wanted the scalloped part to be white. Now, I have to insert the diagonal stripe piece here. I don't want those, but it's also going to cut out so now that this is just a frame instead of a solid scalloped piece. So if that makes sense. So the first time we die cut it, it was a solid scalloped piece. Now I'm going to pop out those stripes, fit it on top, and now we just have a white frame. Just the polka dot frame was just, I don't know, a little too much. So now that that's done, I'm going to adhere that, and that just gives us a little different extra kind of look. It kind of cleans that edge up, and I think it brings the focus into those polka dots in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to use one of these butterflies, and I am using Simon Says Stamp ink in Surf and Carnation, and I'm just going to blend that Surf right in the center, bring in the Carnation on the outside of the edges, and let it just slightly blend till you can get a little bit of a purple, which is super pretty. And then I thought it just still looked so plain. So I decided to take the Surf ink pad and just gently rub across the raised edges. And I love how it just grabbed certain parts of that butterfly, and I think it turned out so pretty. I think another way to do this is wait for it to dry, do it with a clear embossing ink, and then do like some gold embossing powder on it. I'm using the Floral Wing stamp set for my sentiment that says life is beautiful with you in it. I'm just going to stamp that in black ink. I felt like that would just kind of pop with the gold and the colored butterfly. So I'm going to stamp that in my MISTI, and then I can trim this down to a workable size. I just used one of those stripe pieces from the diagonal cover dies to stamp that on, and then now I can just trim that out. Now, I also decided that inside where the polka dots were, it just was so like in your face bright. And I think it's because of the foil that I used. So I trimmed down a piece of vellum. Now, I here's one of the tricks that I really liked. I trimmed it down smaller than that inside piece of the card panel because I want to soften a lot of the foil, but I kind of want to see the bright foil on the outside edge rim. So you'll see what I mean here. So I'm going to place my sentiment and my butterfly on my vellum first. That way I know where to hide the other adhesive behind these two elements. I'm also going to add some foam tape behind the vellum. So I added foam tape underneath the sentiment and butterfly, and now I'm going to add vellum above the or behind those images. So when I lay that on there, you can see that there's a nice gold edge around the whole frame. Of course, I'm adding some gold sequins, and then I'm going to adhere this to a white A2 size card base with foam tape. So this has a ton of dimension. But as you can see, the vellum makes that gold really soft, but then you get a little bit of that peeking around the edge, which also adds like another frame element next to the scalloped frame. So thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you feel inspired, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!